Thank you very much. It's an honor to be on this show, Mr. Alright then, Mr. Tsai. I was born on July 30th, 1818, in Swarton, England, and I was the fifth one born of my family of six. I moved to Hawthorne when I was about 6 years old, and was there that my three oldest sisters and I went to school. But shortly after we came in, there was a tuberculosis case. It wasn't long before both my mother and two of my sisters passed away. But we continued our lives, and we were homeschooled by my father and aunt. We would often write little poems and stories whenever we had a chance to let my imagination go. So I had my first job when I was 20 as a teacher at law school in Halifax. But I guess the work must have been too hard, for I fell sick and had to come back home. Well, back at home, I couldn't just do nothing. I did most of the cooking and cleaning. I taught Sunday school. I tried to learn German. And of course, I would secretly write poetry whenever I had the time. Why, yes. And the surprising thing was that my sisters, like me, were also writing poetry in secret. So when we found out about each other's work, we put all of our poems together and published them in a single volume. I eventually published Wuthering Heights a year later. Oh, I've always had a pretty wild imagination when I was young. I loved animals and nature, and I was right about whatever idea I had whenever it came to me. I guess I always owe it to my father because he would always encourage us to learn more about reading and writing. I've always dreamed about writing my very own novel, and seeing how my sister Charlotte Bronte published her very own book called Jane Eyre. I just had to publish one as well. But I guess that was also because I kind of wanted to challenge our current society, as well as express my feelings of passion, love, regret, and anger. Wuthering Heights was just a story to do so. Well, if you're so curious about the story's personal characters, then perhaps you might want to ask them yourself.
Did somebody call for me? I did not say you could speak. So it be. Now state, what business do you have of here? Ah, so it's the interview. Very well then. I'll answer your questions, and make it quick. Hmm. So you really want to know how I got my wealth and power? How I spent all those years in toil and sweat? How I did so? I believe it is better for me not to say. But I can tell you that every moment and drop of blood spent was all for the fated day when I would come back and deliver my revenge. Why, you ask? Well, why not? Does it not make sense to return a deed that someone has given you? Hindley ruined and degraded me so much that not even Catherine would bear to live with me. I could not just suffer unrevenged. Hindley, who cares about that man? Let him suffer for all I care. My time is short, and there is much that I have to do. Perhaps Joseph could help you in your inquisitions. to my Lord, smite not them young un, for sure my God, and by their heart and my soul, and I pray. Bah! What are you here for? The Meister's down in his room. Some questions, and ask quick, for I have not done with my sermons. I've been in the family for over 60 years, and I still serve him now. I don't usually notice this stuff, but I guess 'cause it must have been jealous. That little Earnshaw kid always had his father's eye on him. But with little Master Heathcliff come in the family, his father ain't never the same. Always Heathcliff like it. And it's like he don't forget about his own son, except when he's angry and give him some a beating. If you ask me, Indy's always been a flaysome little rascal. But after he came back from that school with that girl of his, his wife got sick right after giving birth to his son. I never saw what girl was that girl anyway. But Hindley's lost it all after he's dead. Life goes from bad to worse, and the shoes on all them workers away, except for May and Nellie, of course. If you want to know about Miss Earnshaw, go ask Nellie. She left the Heights ever since she got married to that skinny, white little boy. What's his name? Edgar? Sure. Yeah. And to my soul be smiting all them hell burning flames.
You mean? Oh, yes, dear. How may I help you? Do you mean the younger, sweeter one, or the older, naughtier one? Very well. What would you like to know? I've raised and looked after Kathy from the moment she was born to the moment she left us all. She was a lovable little child, but terribly naughty, and she was never so happy as when we were all scolding her. Anyways, she and Heathcliff were inseparable. We'd break them apart and punish them both, but the moment they were together again, they just forget everything else. It's quite amazing how well they match each other, but it's also hard to believe how Kathy could drop all of their relations and marry another man. Yes, Edgar, from the high-class family of the Lintons. Why? Well, because she was selfish, arrogant, and foolish. That's why. Kathy loved Heathcliff, and knew so from the beginning. But she chose Edgar because he had money and power, and because she was afraid that marrying Heathcliff would degrade her. Lord knows why she thinks a few extra golden coins are worth more than a true lover. Well, if you ask me, Catherine brought her illness upon herself. But perhaps it is better if I tell you from the beginning. Heathcliff left the household after he overheard Kathy and I talking about her marriage plans. Kathy was sick and heartbroken. It served her right after all she said about him. She still married Edgar. So anyways, after Heathcliff left for 4 years, he comes back a completely different man. Tall, athletic, and civilized. You have met him, have you? Rough as a sausage and hard as whinstone, as I often say. But anyways, Kathy was overjoyed, although Edgar was not, and he would often demand his wife to avoid Heathcliff whenever possible. Now Kathy, being the arrogant girl she was, decided to starve herself as a way to solve the problem. After fasting for a few days, I saw her, and she was growing sick and delirious. The doctor said she had brain fever and was pregnant and would never recover completely. She did eventually get to see Heathcliff, but that would be the last time when she fainted in his arms and would never stir again. Proud people breed sad sorrows for themselves. My pleasure. Would you like a cup of tea? Oh, very well. And goodbye.